Hello and welcome to another edition of Comics Should Smell Good. And normally you know me as Will from Comics Blend and the Zanadu contributor, but today I am now getting a new job as the Reed Richards, the Zombie Fantastic Four issue with this thing. This is, thank you Perry, he came bearing gifts. He just got back from Comics Pro and I got Chuck's arm here, which is kind of cool.
We got some nice HELLBOY beer that is very red and dark and bittery and kind of tastes like, you know, the red hand of doom right in your face.
And all I got is some very uncomfortable feelings that I may need that to deal with.
Wait, how old are you?
Old enough, old man.
Really? Will's here too. I'm clearly not the old man out of the batch.
I'm definitely the oldest man here, unfortunately. Let's start it off. You know, this is kind of appropriate that I get this because it's a symbol of something that happens in this. As we can both attest to, we both read it separately, but we both had the same reaction to just kind of screaming and yelling out loud. As you know from the last issue, so the Joker, it's pretty much, he's pulled the ultimate crazy. He's got this weird virus. It's pretty much turned Gotham into kind of like a Jokerized 28 Days Later, if you will. And as Batman is trying to figure it out, there's this whole thing of evidence that could just, whatever you thought you knew about the Joker and his origin is way off. And so he turns to, I'm just going to, I don't want to give it away. Anyway, he turns to a lot of his enemies to get some help. That's how bad things are in Gotham City right now. He's actually turning to help to some of his worst enemies to help defeat. And it just one mind-blowing thing after another. And there's stuff that happens in the Batcave. It's all over Gotham. It's underground Gotham. It really is turning out to be the ultimate Joker story. And it really makes you think. And Scott Snyder is really playing with Batman's mind as he's playing with my mind anyway. Because Batman's always been so cool. He's on top of it. But literally Batman's like, you know. It's really, really cool.
It's not a good sign.
Not a good sign. Next up.
Alright, my first pick for this week is from Marvel. We've got Amazing Spider-Man number 15. This is the Spider-Verse epilogue. I personally just finished reading Spider-Verse Marathon, the last 3 chapters of it the other night. And I thought it ended really, really abruptly, but that's just because they had to pack so much fighting and the return of Leopardon, the ultimate spider robot, in the last issue. So right here we've got a nice sort of tying up of the webs here, you know, the various plot strands.
It's called an epilogue.
That have been weaved together. Woven, I think, is the actual word there.
Morgan's officially hit the
it's
quota
really cool.
on the puns, and he's been cut off. No more.
Buy more Spider-Man.
Yeah, whatever. God.
They'll spend more.
Jesus. Alright. From Boom Studios this week, we have the first issue of Curb Stomp, featuring this amazing cover by Tula Lotay, who you should be reading in Supreme, Blue Rose. This is by Ryan Ferrier, Devaki Nyogi, and Neil Lalonde, and this is all about girl gangs beating the crap out of people because girl gangs are very tough. And they smoke lots of cigarettes, and they have really cool names like Machete Betty. I wouldn't mess with anybody named Machete Betty or Daisy Chain. Never. Probably not. Or Violet Volt. Person has a very large bat as well. But yeah, definitely reminiscent of a little bit of the Warriors vibe, a little bit of like Pirates of Coney Island, the amazing book by Rick Spears and Vasilis Lolos a couple years ago.
Or, you know, more accurately, you could go with Switchblade Sisters.
Or you could go with some Switchblade Sisters. You could do that, absolutely.
I think there might even be a character named Daisy Chain in that.
There is. Yeah. But yes, Curb Stomp. Girls gone bad. Not wild.
And I cannot get enough of Batman this week, and if you can't, then he is also in Deathstroke number 5 this week. I didn't really say this, DC said it, but after looking through this, I believe it firmly. Tony Daniel, the writer and artist, may have orchestrated one of the most brutal fights since the New 52 began. It is awesome. Deathstroke goes to Gotham City searching for his past, a big mystery, and he gets caught up with Harley Quinn. Harley Quinn was the last one, and so it's kind of a huge kind of three-way nasty fight between Slade Wilson, Batman, and Harley Quinn in Gotham, and it is just, I mean, it's just awesome. I love Tony Daniel, and I like what he's doing with Deathstroke, and the fight is just brutal. And Harley gets some great fights, and she also gets some great lines in as well. So, more fun in Gotham this week, courtesy of Deathstroke and Tony Daniel.
Yeah, I was peeking through there, and it looks like Rose Wilson, who's actually been around since the beginning of the New 52, is finally actually Ravager again.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
She's really cool. I like her. She was great in Teen Titans. It was really fun.
Alright, and my next pick for you is actually not a double pick, not a triple pick even, but a quad shot of Image trades.
Oh!
Got the highly awaited Sex Criminals Volume 2, Two Worlds, One Cop. The Fade Out, Volume 1, Ed Brubaker and Sean Phillips with their Hollywood noir crime story here. Volume 9 of Chew, Chicken Tenders, featuring the one, the only, Poyo! The greatest comic book character ever, honestly.
It's pretty close. Yeah.
And finally, the third volume of Zero, Tenderness of Wolves, one of my personal favorite series since it started. And you're talking about brutal fight scenes. The entire last 2 issues of this collection are pretty much just one fight and then a bunch of things blowing up. It's amazing. Absolutely amazing. So a ton of stuff to look forward to from Image this week.
Yeah, that is a lot. That is a lot. Also from Image this week, speaking of Ed Brubaker and Sean Phillips,
Oh.
The Savage Sword of Criminal finally returns. Criminal, obviously been busy doing Fade Out, but not only does this finally bring you a very great, fun pulp crime story, but the awesome Secrets of Deadly Kung Fu, which has been banned in too many countries as too brutal. But this is really gorgeous. There's a magazine format like this, and a regular comic size for those of you who need the comic to fit in the box or whatever. Some colors, some black and white. More horrible violence, this time with comic books. Truly, truly not for the faint at heart. Oh man, Ninja Eye Gouge, Feet of Fury, Two Finger Instant Death. I think we have a winner.
Is it like the Heartstopper thing from Kill Bill?
Oh,
yeah, but this is real, man.
this
That's
is-
a movie. This
Oh,
is real
okay.
life. It's on the back of a comic
Sorry.
book. Come on.
Right.
Exactly. And that's really showing my age, because I remember not before comic book stores when you would go to the drugstore to the soda counter, and I had a big magazine of Incredible Hulk, and in the back was a black and white Dominic Fortune and Moon Knight.
Ooh.
Okay, I'm just really old here. Back to the present.
You are really old.
I really am. And into the Black Vortex. This is chapter 4. Doesn't matter what chapter it is. It's really cool. Once again, the Black Vortex is this ancient artifact that when you look at it, it kind of cosmically enhances you, turn you into almost Phoenix-like power. And Mr. Knife and the son of Thanos, they're after it. And the Guardians are trying to protect, and the X-Men come for help because Kitty Pryde's hooking up with Star-Lord. But what's happened is some of the Guardians and some of the X-Men have kind of submitted and kind of given in to temptation of the Black Vortex. And their kind of power and their kind of powers kind of go under their head. So they've got this whole weird, crazy scheme. And then another awesome cosmic villain kind of jumps into the thing this week. And then there's another big surprise of there's kind of a Guardians X-Men kind of reunion happen that kind of sets things off in new directions. And here's the thing that I love is like magic. I never liked magic, but Bendis, you made me a believer in magic. I've always loved her.
How long
Ever
have you been reading
since-
comics? You like
never liked
magic?
magic?
I've never liked magic until Bendis wrote
Wow.
her. And it's cool, like she does this stuff and I love, she says, I've been studying under Doctor Strange. I've picked up a few things. So it's really cool how they're doing that. So the next chapter of the Black Vortex is here with Bendis and the spectacular Andrea Sorrentino, who as of today is now a Marvel exclusive artist. So we'll look to see what he's going to end up working on.
Alright, speaking of fantastic artists here, we've got a new debut from Vertigo. This is issue number 1 of Lee Bermejo's Suiciders. This is post-apocalyptic, just like, I know, everything else coming out these days, but this is unique in that it has a man with gigantic robotic boxing gloves pummeling tons of other men and a bunch of other cyborgs beating the crap out of each other in arenas for your entertainment.
Think you could use a hand? Sorry, continue.
What? You're stopping me for puns, but you're just silent.
He
over
only
it?
did one. You did 3 in a row. that hit the quota.
Whatever. I'm gonna suicide you, man.
Oh my god. Alright. A true joy, and a thing that I didn't even know existed until Dark Horse solicited it. Seraphim 2661336 wings, I don't know what the numbers are. Strange Japanese people, you know, whatever. But Satoshi Kon, Mamoru Oshii, the amazing directors behind some of the greatest anime of the, I don't know, 20th
Like
century,
ever?
I guess, ever. Satoshi Kon has brought you such things as Perfect Blue, Millennium Actress, Tokyo Godfathers, Paprika. Mamoru Oshii, of course, directed the manga, I don't even know if classic is even the word, Ghost in the Shell, which is just brilliant. And they have teamed up to create a new manga that Dark Horse has been porting over as part of their we're going to publish everything Satoshi Kon did because we're awesome program. There's a huge kind of, what do you call those things that are at the back? Not an introduction, an afterword. Yeah, one of them. There's a big afterword. There's actually a lot of cool character designs. And Satoshi Kon, who drew this, studied under Katsuhiro Otomo working on the Akira book. So you have some serious pedigree with manga here. $20. This is like the manga release of the week. Pretty close. It's neck and neck. It's tight. We may hear some dissenting opinions from the man to my right in a minute, but we're gonna pass that on to Will now.
Okay.
Yeah.
Remember Die Hard? The first Die Hard in a skyscraper. Then Die Hard in a plane, in an airport. Then, who cares about what happened in Die Hard? But anyway, this is Die Hard in Doctor Strange's Sanctum Sanctorum.
Oh, yeah?
So, this is S.H.I.E.L.D. by the awesome Mark Waid, who is joined by one of the greatest, one of my all-time favorites. Please come to Seattle Comic-Con sometime, Emerald City. Alan Davis, he does the art on this, and pretty much supernatural terrorists take over Doctor Strange's house and go inside the Centaurum, whatever you call that. And so Agent Coulson from Marvel's Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. recruits Spider-Man to go in and kick some supernatural terrorists' butt.
Really? He's the first guy that he went to? Spider-Man?
Yeah. I don't know where Doctor Strange is.
Yeah, right?
Right?
Well, he's in New York. I think it's kind of cool. You know, maybe Cleo will show up in there, or the Night Nurse or whatever. But it looks, it's just really cool. It's fun. This is a great. It's kind of like if you love Marvel's Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. and Clark Gregg as Phil Coulson, and who doesn't? This is, you know, kind of like other episodes with an unlimited budget and special effects. You know, they can have their Inhumans here, but here you get your Spider-Man and Die Hard in Doctor Strange's house. There you go.
My next pick for you here. From Image, the team of Rick Mender and Greg Tocchini finally finishing off the first arc of Low. This is issue 6. I don't even remember what the main character... I don't remember what any of the characters' names are anymore because it's been so long since I read the last issue. But this family, this broken family who many years ago, their father was killed and their daughters kidnapped by deep-sea pirates, one of whom has, you know, a robot body with a skull for a face because it's just that awesome.
That's Remender.
They followed the pirates back to their underwater city lair. They fought for days and days and days, months even, in their gladiatorial arenas, fighting against huge sea creatures, other gladiators, you name it. And finally, they've got their final showdown with the pirates for the fate of their daughters, and it's amazing. This is, I believe the name of the overall arc is The Delirium of Hope, and that really encapsulates what this story is about. It's about being at your lowest, just circling around, like bumping into walls, but still maintaining that faint glimmer. There's something out there that can save you, and sometimes that just gotta be yourself.
That was really powerful, Mark.
Thank you.
That's really good. That's
Thank
very.
you. It's a really powerful comic.
No,
I
it
wouldn't
was.
have been able to say something about that, about like...
There's like one issue where the mother and the son are like getting higher, they're like raising, they're in the sub and they're going up from the ground, like, or from the bottom of the ocean, like up, and she's kind of going through memories and they have all these like long panels and it's really got this nice kind of like rising thing. It's really
just
good.
Really a very beautiful comic.
It's really good. It's just friggin' late, like 4 months, man. Alright, I get you, but it's the last part of the arc. You're killing me. You know what this is. We'll hurry up. It's Spider-Gwen. I'm really not going to say anything else. We're not going to have any by, like, Thursday, so get in here.
And how do I follow that up? Darth Vader #2. Once again, this is one of the 3 Star Wars comic books that Marvel's now doing. This is Kieran Gillen. This is Salvador Roca. This is Darth Vader, kind of badass. Here's the thing: is Darth Vader's kind of defeated because the Death Star blew up. This is right after the death of the first Death Star. So the Emperor's kind of like slapped him down a little bit. He's actually serving under like, I don't know who this guy is, but I feel like he's the guy from the movie who was being all arrogant, who was like making fun of Darth about the Force, and Darth Vader kind of choked him a little bit. So now he's kind of worked for that Imperial jerk. But that's not all. Here's the thing: is like, you know, who would have ever thought it'd be so cool that like Darth Vader would be leading his own rogue mission? Because he's kind of obsessed with finding that pilot who destroyed the Death Star. Who kind of who that is? But a lot
spoilers,
of
Will. Spoilers. You're done. Get out of here.
No. But it's a lot of fun. If you love Star Wars, even if you obviously you know how it's going to go, but these guys, Jason Aaron in Star Wars and Kieran Gillen in this, they just weave this cool story within a story, and it's just awesome plot within plots. It's a lot of fun. Next up,
and my final pick for you, the real manga pick of the week.
Oh, let the battle begin.
JoJo's Bizarre Adventure, Volume 1, beautiful hardcover edition, previously untranslated. This is a story of an epic family of heroes, the Joestars. Each one, of course, named Joe something, you know, because it's a comic book. Bear with me here. Originally, America only got the story of Josuke. Or no, Josuke was the 4th one. Jotaro Joestar. That's part 3. This is the original. The story of Jonathan Joestar. This is what starts everything. His epic rivalry with Dio Brando and the mysterious stone mask. And also a man named Ario Speedwagon. Because again, it's a comic book. Just go with it. You can fight a guy named Ario Speedwagon. It's fine.
And I almost went there, but
yeah,
no.
Please, none of that. We don't need a musical
That looks
episode.
like a prettier Quentin Quire.
A little bit.
Alright, well, that's about everything we have for you this week. Thank you very much for joining us, and we will see you all
Thanks, Chuck.
next week.